It's our trade deadline coverage, and that's Dennis Bernstein. I'm Irfaan Gaffar here with the fourth period, brought to you as always by Betway. Dennis, let's start in Carolina, where their GM, Don Waddell, basically said if the trade deadline was today, they'd be looking to add a defenseman. Now, who in your mind is the right fit there in Carolina?
Yeah, or injuries to Tony DeAngelo and Brendan Smith have raised his sense of urgency in Carolina. He could go big game hunting for a Jacob Chikrin, maybe a John Klingberg, who is a rental at this point in time. But they don't have a lot of cap space, and I don't think those teams are inclined to retain salary. I think the one team that is willing to retain at this point would be Chicago. And a guy I like who can play both sides, who's had kind of an under-the-radar season, is Calvin DeHaan. He can play both the left and right side. I think his style of play would fit for Carolina. So I think that's the best fit for them for a team that doesn't have a lot of cap space, but certainly has Stanley Cup designs.
Yeah, you mentioned a team with not a lot of cap space. Now we're going to a team that has a little bit of cap flexibility and can make some move, and that's the New York Rangers. What position should they be prioritizing here come the deadline?
Yeah, there's been talk about bolstering the forward wall, adding to the blue line. But let's go back to the offseason. The Sammy Blais for Pavel Buchnevich trade. It hasn't materialized because Sammy got hurt. They tried to build a third line with some more grit and just haven't worked. And they haven't really replaced Pavel's goal scoring. I think, has 19 goals in St. Louis right now. So for me, that would be the move. Kaapo Kakko hasn't moved the needle with respect to his goal scoring. He's injured now. So a guy that people have talked about, a JT Miller, maybe a Phil Kessel. I certainly think if they're going to make an acquisition to bolster his team, I wouldn't do it on defense because you have the probable Vezina, maybe the Hart winner in Turkin and Nets. I think you got enough on defense. But for me, if this team is going to move the needle at all, I think they have to add to offense, and JT Miller will be a natural add for this team at this point.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if he didn't get any Hart Trophy votes. Now, finally, let's make a stop in Nashville. It was funny when, the rumors came out that Filip Forsberg was maybe being made available, but obviously not the case as both sides want to get a deal done. What does a potential contract look like for him in Nashville?
David Paul, come on. You got to bring the guy back, right? He's almost a lifelong Predator. If we go back to that famous trade for Martin Erat that brought him into Nashville, I think the number's probably predetermined here, Irf. You're going to pay him more than Matt Duchene or Ryan Johansson at $8 million. I don't think you can pay him more than Roman Josi at $9 million. So I think 8.5, 8, 7, maybe 9, maybe a match what Roman Josi gets paid on an AAV on a long-term deal. He's the right age. You could sign for 6, 7, 8 years. So I think the AAV is probably coming in at between 8.5 and 9 million. That's more than for a guy who probably wants to stay in Nashville. The lifestyle is great there. We were just there for the outdoor games. So to me, that's the number that I think would be fair for both Forsberg and the Nashville Predators.
DB, thank you so much for this. For more, head on over to thefourthperiod.com for all our trade deadline coverage. And as always, it's brought to you by Betway.